SVG-TV News headlines sponsored in part by Flow and Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
With Flow, win a bag of money, cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money, yeah? From Flow.
Okay, so check this. Flow is giving away $30,000 in cash. 2 bags of money, plus $1,000 every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. There's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up, top up, $5 or more. Right now, just switch to Flow. Get a plan, 1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore. With Flow, win a bag of money, cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money, yeah? From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or port now to win. Flow terms and conditions apply.
Brick by brick, piece by piece, building with technology, helping wealth increase. Starting small, building the future, doing more every day, doing more together. BOSVG, the bank we count on. BOSVG, our one bank together we're strong. Our nation's bank, standing long and proud. One bank, one voice, sing it loud. BOSVG. Hey, building our future. Doing more together.
SVG, doing more together.
In headlines, Deputy Prime Minister says SVG's finances are in good hands as opposition leader predicts more expensive borrowing for the country. Jamaica law enforcement agencies express concern about an increase in the trade of drugs for guns. UK research institutes teaming up to fast-track coronavirus vaccine. And in sports, SVG female cricket team retains Windward Island's 50 overs title. These and other stories coming up in SVG TV's Evening News and Sports.
SVG-TV News headlines sponsored in part by Flow and Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
With Flow, win a bag of money, cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money, yeah? From Flow.
Okay, so check this. Flow is giving away $30,000 in cash. 2 bags of money, plus $1,000 every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. There's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up, top up, $5 or more. Right now, just switch to Flow. Get a plan, 1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore. With Flow, win a bag of money, cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money, yeah? From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or port now to win. Flow terms and conditions apply.
Brick by brick, piece by piece, building with technology, helping wealth increase. Starting small, building the future, doing more every day, doing more together. BOSVG, the bank we count on. BOSVG, our one bank together we're strong. Our nation's bank, standing long and proud. One bank, one voice, sing it loud. BOSVG. Hey, building our future. Doing more together.
OSVG, doing more together.
Good evening and welcome to the SVG-TV News and Sports for Wednesday, February 5th, 2020. I am Khalil Kato with the details. Opposition leader Dr. Godwin Friday has expressed concern about the country's debt, which he said continues to balloon under the current administration. Finance Minister Camilo Gonzalez pointed out in the 2020 budget presentation that as at December 31st, 2019, the total public debt stood at $1.7 billion, up by 0.8% on the total disbursed outstanding public debt for the comparative period of 2018. Dr. Friday says, as it stands, the country's debt-to-GDP ratio remains above the recommended level at 74%, which suggests more expensive borrowing is looming. And it is worrying that the government may find it increasingly difficult to service the debt.
Concerning, Mr. Speaker, is that the central government's debt service as a percentage of current revenue has grown very fast in the last 4 years. I thought it was somewhere around 24-25%. In 2016, it was 25.1%. In 2017, it was 28.1%. In 2018, it had jumped to 30.2%. And 2019, 34.2%, and now 39% in 2020 projection. So between 2016 and 2020, it moved from 25.1% to 39.4%. And that must be worrying for the minister himself. Because when you take that you have to pay the debt, and salaries which account for about another half of the revenue, you basically have a tight squeeze on government's finances.
The opposition leader said the high debt ratio also has implications for a number of the productive sectors and services offered by the government.
It means, Mr. Speaker, for the average person, that the government may have to cut its transfer of payments to various departments. With high debts, the government can't buy as much medicines for the hospital, so the people will suffer. With high debts, the government cannot properly finance transfers to the ministries and the sectors such as tourism and agriculture and maintenance. I've said over there. So the effect is real.
Dr. Friday said though there are no new taxes in the 2020 budget, he is certain that it's just a matter of time before they are added based on the country's debt situation.
But as we have seen, this is an election year, so the government will hold off on increasing taxes for now. After that, though, heaven forbid, that they're here following a next election, that they form government, that will be the time of reckoning. Because, mark your word, taxes will go up. As it did, Mr. Speaker, after the 2015 general elections. The point is that, having done so before the election, they then came back and they took it back. First by putting VAT on salt and margarine, and then they put VAT on 1 percentage point, increase from 15 to 16%, and then they lowered the threshold where VAT is payable on electricity. So 3 years in a row, the VAT was raised. They had to do that, Mr. Speaker, because they had no other way to raise money. That's the only way they know how to raise tax, borrow money. And moreover, Mr. Speaker, from the practice they've had, because of the paramountcy of the state in everything in this country, they feel that they have a duty to take people's taxpayers' money out of their pocket whenever they feel like it, or whenever they think they can get away with it.
The total debt service for 2020 is estimated at $267.9 million, or 39.4% of the current revenue. Deputy Prime Minister, Deputy Prime Minister, however, and Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sir Louis Straker, said the country's finances are in good hands and in excellent health. Responding to the criticisms leveled by the opposition on the economy and the public debt, Sir Louis said the statistics indicate that inflation is under control, which is a sign that the economy is well managed.
Rest assured that the finances of this country are in such excellent hand. We have inflation in check, I'm told that the public workers would be getting a 2% increase this year. And really they are 1.5% above what the inflation rate is. For all of last year, Mr. Speaker, I have the record here, the inflation rate was 0.5%. So if you take that into account, as a matter of fact, the inflation rate for December dropped 0.05%. If we are to take all that into account, and some people sneer at the fact that workers are only getting 2%, but they are way ahead since inflation for last year was only 0.5%. Secondly,
Sir Louis said the fact that the government for many years has not invited the IMF in for assistance is another sign that they are doing a good job with the country's finances.
Mr. Speaker, I have seen some of the brightest stars in the Caribbean, some of the best economies in the Caribbean. They have gone under and they had to invite the IMF for their structural program in their countries. But not once have we invited the IMF to come in here to dabble with our economy and our finances. Thank God we have the men of ability who are able to keep the ship of state afloat, so that we have the finances and we don't have to go to the IMF and say, listen, our economy, our finances are out of order, come in and help us. Not one public servant has gone by for a month without a pay. And we are adding, instead of subtracting, some countries have cut out thousands of people from the public service sector. We are adding, I'm told through this budget, another 160.
The opposition continues to lobby for a citizenship by investment program for SVG, which they believe will help spur economic growth, while the government continues to maintain its position against the program. Sir Louis said the Prime Minister's and Minister of Finance's opinions on such programs are sound, and as the potential for harm to the economy is great.
So, Mr. Speaker, what they are saying, the OECD and the G20 are mindful of the fact that people can accept a Caribbean country as their residence and say they don't have to pay taxes there, so they don't get the taxes there. They are mindful of the fact that somebody can get a passport from St. Kitts or Antigua or any of these countries that promote CBI. And that because of their Vincentian passport, the Antiguan passport, they can go to countries where they do not require a visa to enter into and can do criminal actions in those countries because of the passports they get from our countries. And they can now put us on a blacklist that would affect our economy as we have been on their blacklist. I'm not saying what they're doing is right, but we have to be mindful of how the greatest countries in the world, the G20 and the OECD, what they say, for what they say would have tremendous influence on our economy here in St. Vincent. So that when the Prime Minister, in his wisdom, says that's not the way we want to go, I think we are traversing a good ground.
Meanwhile, in his contribution to the budget debate, opposition MP for South Leeward, Nigel Stevenson, expressed his concern with the unemployment level among young people in the country, even as Finance Minister Camilo Gonzalez said it is a good time to be a young person in SVG, a statement which Stevenson strongly disagrees with.
I am wondering, Mr. Speaker, why is it that this government, who speaks so glowingly about the young people, why is it, Mr. Speaker? I mean, I am wondering, why is it so much glowing language, descriptions about the young people, but the unemployment situation among the young people, 46%. Huh? That's a wonderful time to be a young person. Because a young person under this administration, Mr. Speaker, has no future. For young family, Mr. Speaker.
Stevenson also touched on climate change and its damaging effects on the environment. He said that a holistic approach is needed to address the situation, pointing to Buckerman Bay, which is one of the areas being severely affected. Opposition Senator Israel Bruce focused on the Ministry of National Mobilization and the allocations made for this ministry as it relates to building social bonds, which he said are needed in the country.
There was a time when it was said that fellas from Greg's couldn't come down to Lauders and Lomans, and fellas from Lauders and Lomans couldn't go up to Greg's for whatever sets of reasons. Activities like those organized by the Community Development Division and community organizations then, Mr. Speaker, helped tremendously in helping to advance the social fabric of our country. But I have not seen in the budget, Mr. Speaker, where resources are allocated to either to reinstate, to strengthen, or what have you.
Senator Bruce is also of the opinion that persons with disabilities were forgotten, as the budget did not reflect programs or financial allocations to cater for their needs. Government MP for North Windward, who holds the portfolio as Minister of Housing, Montgomery Daniel, told Parliament there is a $5 million EC allocation this year for distribution of materials, which will be given to Vincentians who need them the most.
Mr. Speaker, the ministry is overwhelmed in offering such assistance to all who is in need. Mr. Speaker, since the reconstruction of the houses under the reconstruction program, and I mentioned 232 houses were so done, keys were given to all of the individuals.
In regards to health, Minister Luke Brown noted the improved services at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, especially at the Accident and Emergency Department.
Better experience for the persons who need these radiological services, because if we could have a doctor on a shift system making sure that there's a medical presence at the hospital all the time, and if we could have nurses on a shift system making sure that there's the presence of nursing personnel all the time at the hospital, and if invariably when somebody comes to the hospital at the A&E department, which functions on a 24/7 basis, we're going to need to refer them to some kind of radiological investigation, then it makes sense for us to have the staff at that department on a shift system as well.
Last Thursday, January 30th, was the 49th anniversary of the death of the first black U.S. shipmaster, Vincentian-born Captain Hugh Nathaniel Mulzac. Although no major activity was held this year in his memory, plans are underway to remember him and the legacy he left behind in a big way on the 50th anniversary of his passing next year. As we hear in this report, one of the persons who was very close to Mulzac, his former caretaker, said he deserves to be named a national hero.
Elaine Myers is one of the few lucky persons still alive to give an insight into the life of Captain Hugh Mulzac, who left behind a legacy of courage, fierce determination, and accomplishment in the face of extreme hardships. Myers took care of Mulzac for many years while he was living in Level Gardens, Kingstown, before he passed away in 1971 in the United States of America. Born in Union Island on March 26, 1886, Mulzac became the first black man to captain a United States merchant marine ship during World War II, a huge accomplishment not only for Vincentians, but also in the black community. Myers fondly remembers Captain Mulzac as a humble person who was discriminated against because of his race, but one who rose above it all and fought for what he believed in. For this reason alone, Myers strongly believes that Captain Mulzac should be enlisted as SVG's next national hero.
And Mr. Mulzac told me some story how the white people treat the black people in America. And if you read his book, he went to England and he did it. When they speak about Chartier, to be honest with you, it's not Chartier. It should have been Captain Hugh Mulzac, because he was in the First and Second World War. And he fought to free us. He should be You don't take good things and cast it away. And when done, when memory come back, we looking for it, we can't.
This very house was where Captain Humelzak lived at Level Gardens and was given to Myers, his caretaker, as a gift. After all these years, Myers has been able to maintain and kept several items used by Captain Mulzak, such as the 100-year-old chair, teacup, and bed.
I keep things to remember Captain Humelzak. This was his home, and this is his home, and it wasn't like this, but I make it what you.
The elderly woman plans to have a grand 50th remembrance celebration for the man whom she said the Vincentian public should be more appreciative of.
He should be recognized. He fought, and he is something should be remembered. And by the help and strength of God, with this gentleman, I'm going to put my best foot in front.
A 50th remembrance celebration for Captain Humelzak is being coordinated by a community activist.
And also involved in an organization some years ago, in the Boshal Rastafari movement, that wrote a letter seeking when they were going to decommission the old Humelzak boat to see if it could be turned into a museum. And we were told no, they had to destroy it.
With the formation of national security in SVG in 1986, the Coast Guard vessels were given the name Captain Mulzak in his honor. To further honor the captain for his historical contributions in global black community, the Captain Humelzak Square was erected at Clifton Harbour, Union Island in 2004, the island of his birth. For SVG-TV News, Larissa Pugsley-Kidd.
National Council of Women joins other organizations to express concern about the upsurge of violence against women and girls in SVG. This and other stories when we return with more local news after these messages.
The local news sponsored in part by Flow.
With Flow, win a bag of money, cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money, yeah? From Flow.
Okay, so check this. Flow is giving away $30,000 in cash. 2 bags of money, plus $1,000 every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. There's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up, top up, $5 more. Right now, just switch to Flow. Get a plan, 1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore. With Flow, win a bag of money, cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money, yeah? From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or port now to win. Flow terms and conditions apply.
C-Star Limited is now located on the 3rd floor of the First St. Vincent Bank building. They have extended their range of products and furniture, including patio sets, closets, shoe casing, beds and mattresses, TV cabinets, and kitchen cupboards, just to name a few of their luxurious pieces, all at unbelievable prices. Don't just take my word for it. Check them out upstairs the First St. Vincent Bank building. Don't forget, they still have the best in windows, doors, burglar bars, rails, and vanities. C-Star Limited, where quality and style is our motto.
A funeral service should be one that you can be proud of. One that leaves lasting memories of your loved ones. And that's where you need the New Haven Funeral Home. We are proud of the quality and class we have brought to the industry. We are proud for having trained the very first certified embalmers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We are proud of leading the way in terms of live streaming of funerals online so that your family members overseas could also be part of the celebration of life. We are constantly improving our services. We are driven by customer satisfaction, and we are proud of all that we do.
New Haven Funeral Home.
Kidney disease is a growing concern around the world and here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Chronic kidney disease is a life-threatening condition which occurs when a person's kidneys are no longer able to clean the toxins and waste products from the blood or perform other kidney functions normally. When this happens, a person needs dialysis. Dialysis is where a machine takes over the function of the kidney and safely removes the poisonous waste from the blood. Since 2012, Health Solutions Inc. has operated a full-service hemodialysis facility in SVG that offers state-of-the-art equipment, courteous, well-trained staff, and a comfortable treatment environment.
We're encouraging for early detection. Anyone who is either diabetic or hypertensive and has any questions or concerns, please contact us at 784-451-2836 or visit us at www.healthsolutionsSVG.org.
Stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz. For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
Welcome back. The National Council of Women has expressed concern about the upsurge of violence against women and girls in SVG and the severity of these types of violence. In a news release, the NCW condemned the acts as disheartening and unacceptable, noting that violence against women and children is a moral affront and the continuation of these ills are an obstacle to sustainable development. The Women's Council said women and girls should be allowed to live free of fear, violence, and everyday insecurity, and attacks against them is a violation of their fundamental human rights. Calling on persons to be more proactive rather than reactive, the NCW says it may be time for everyone to mind their neighbor's business, noting that faith communities and religious leaders should also re-examine their roles and become an active part of the solution to the rise in violence against women. The Council says the legal department of the government must enforce penalties and increase vigilance, and communities and the family must play their part in eliminating this scourge. Meanwhile, the Unity Labour Party has pledged its continued support to the government and RSVG police force in their efforts to curb all violence in SVG. The party urges citizens to be advocates of peace, to be clothed in the vestment of humility and restraint, and to be champions of goodwill. Calling on all members of society to reactivate and embrace the mantra of the village raising the child within the parameters of international conventions. The party says it holds steadfast to the belief that violence can end with a commitment by each person to equality and peace, and an earnest pledge to save and preserve life. Students of the Petersville Academy were the first to showcase their talent in dancing, singing, and choral speaking at the 2020 Primary Schools Performing Arts Festival, PRISPAF, hoping to gain a spot in the finals. Here's a snippet of their performance today.
Wednesday morning me go look for her, but master say no work today. She just wants to be beautiful, she goes. Unnoticed she knows, no limits she craves, attention she praises, an image she prays to be. Talking in my sleep at night, making myself crazy. Out of my mind, out of my mind. Wrote it down and read it out, hoping it will save me. Out of fight, you can be reasonable, don't be impolite. I told you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000 times. And I rise up, I rise like a day, I rise up. Inside on the edge, I rise up. And I do the 1,000 times again.
Officials and sponsors of PRSPAF encourage the students to continue pursuing their dreams even if they are not winners in the competition.
So those of you who can sing, dance, act, dramatize, even sports is very important. Is that if they did not do sports or dance or act or so, they would not have developed that skill. So we need these kind of skills in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
If you do not make it to the Grandees, do not feel bad. Do not believe that you have lost. It is for you to go back and to improve on what you did. So don't make that become an obstacle for you to continue.
Education is just not just the academic, but it's an all-round total development. You have that side, the Christian, and also the Christian part of it too. That's very important. Can't leave out God.
The police here are investigating the circumstances surrounding the shooting of a 44-year-old sales representative of Cane Grove Bookament on Saturday, February 1st. The police say the victim was on her way home from work when she was approached by an unknown male assailant armed with a gun. The assailant reportedly robbed her of a quantity of cash and checks and in the process shot her in the left side of her neck. The victim was subsequently rushed to the Milton Cater Memorial Hospital for medical attention. She was treated and discharged and is reportedly in a stable condition. Police are seeking the assistance of persons with information relating to the incident that can lead to the arrest and prosecution of the offender. Persons are asked to contact the Assistant Commissioner of Police in charge of crimes at telephone number 456-1339 or the officer in charge of the Southwestern Division at 458-7329 or any police officer or police station they are comfortable with. All information, they say, will be treated with confidentiality. In more police news, the first Commissioner of Police parade for the year will be held tomorrow morning at the Victoria Park commencing at 7 a.m. At which time officers from the various departments within the organization will be on parade. During the parade, officers who performed humanitarian duties in the Commonwealth of Dominica during the aftermath of Hurricane Maria in 2017 will receive their Regional Security System RSS Medals of Honor for their invaluable service to that nation and to the region on a whole. Jamaica law enforcement agencies express concern about an increase in the trade of drugs for guns. We have this from the region when we come back.
That was a local news segment.
The Everready Funeral Home at French's is your friend in times of grief. With over 40 years' experience, they are prepared to take care of all your funeral arrangements. Embalming, lowering device service, grave mattresses, carpeting, vaults, tombs, and wreaths. Arrangements for television obituaries. Cremation is available upon request. Everready Funeral Home offers the finest in caskets and coffins, local and imported. So, in your time of need, call Everready Funeral Home at any time. 456-1494. Everready Funeral Home, offering service above self.
Juicy, drink today. Juicy, same great taste. Juicy, the original drink, it's a Vinci thing. Get your red and banana, pineapple, juicy cola, orange or apple. Juicy for you and for your neighbor. It's a Vinci thing. Enjoy it juicy, the original Vinci thing. Juicy.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Bowman's Pharmacy. Why choose us? We have all your prescriptions and over-the-counter medications, personal care products, lowest price guaranteed. Located conveniently next to the Bank of SVG on Grenville Street. Opening hours Monday to Thursday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Email us bowmanpharmacy@yahoo.com. Call us today at 456-2235 or 593-3918. Bowman's Pharmacy. Easy to find and ready to serve you.
Your home is a long-term investment, including most of its features. So when purchasing windows, ensure to acquire a superior product like Kendra's double-sliding heavy-duty window, optional burglar bars, protective insect screens, rubber-sealed thick glass, stainless steel tracking system and rollers, secure and durable locking system on both panels. Inferior products on the market fail to secure your home effectively. So be on alert for inferior imitation. Key things to avoid are problematic latching locks, a poor tracking system, making daily operation of your windows difficult and sometimes impossible, poorly built insect screens, glued on copycat designs, thin and easy to break glass. Always choose the affordable brand from Kendra's aluminum windows and products, built on a tradition of excellence.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
The regional news segment sponsored by Massey Stores SVG Limited.
Massey Stores Pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
Welcome back. In our news from the region, we hear that the guns for drugs trade is on the increase in Jamaica. That's the information coming from the country's Marine Police Force, who say that local waters continue to be used to carry out illicit activities. This comes on the heels of the 2019 U.S. International Narcotics Control Strategy Report, which has identified Jamaica as the largest Caribbean source country of marijuana and a significant transit point for cocaine trafficked from South America to North America and other international markets. We hear more in this report.
Across these waters is an ongoing transaction. Criminals traveling for miles via boat to trade drugs for guns. It remains an issue for the local marine police, who have been attempting to clamp down on the illicit activities, but with only some degree of success.
We have seen an escalation in persons going out with marijuana to the Eastern Caribbean, and of which, in collaboration with the JDF Coast Guard and the Marine Police, would have seized a number of vessels.
While a number of persons have been arrested and charged for this illicit activity, the practice of using local waters as a channel for the guns for drugs trade continues. The U.S. 2019 International Narcotics Control Strategy Report has identified Jamaica as the largest Caribbean source country of marijuana and a significant transit point for cocaine trafficked from South America to North America and other international markets. The report states that significant cocaine seizures at or near the port of Kingston reached Jamaica via commercial shipping containers from Central and South South America. Likewise, they have noted that small fishing vessels and speedboats are carrying marijuana to Haiti, the Cayman Islands, and the Bahamas as a part of what they have described as the thriving guns for marijuana trade. However, the acting operations officer of the Marine Division says they are working to control the issue.
We would have also have an operation in the Negril area with the Jamaica Defense Coast Guard, where 3 Hondurans were also arrested, along with 2 Jamaicans. The amount found here was about 40 pounds of marijuana and a kilogram of cocaine. It is being investigated by the Narcotics Police and in collaboration with the Marine and JDF Coast Guard.
Trinidad and Tobago's Energy Minister Franklin Khan says recent developments in the gas deals between TNT and Venezuela are no reasons to be worried. In fact, Khan says it is a cause to celebrate, as he lauded the country's handling of the gas deals in the face of sanctions against Venezuela by the United States. Here's more in this report.
Franklin Khan says that Trinidad and Tobago is likely to develop all of the 10 trillion cubic feet of natural gas in the Lauren and Manatee gas fields. The new agreement means this country and Venezuela will no longer develop the fields jointly. However, Khan says it was logical to assume that once first gas comes to TNT, then the Venezuelans also are likely to allow the resources in Lauren to be produced here as well.
Once we monetize the Manatee gas, when Venezuela decides to develop Lauren, where will the gas go? Eastern Venezuela has no infrastructure. So if Venezuela is looking for cash, and they will be looking for cash for the foreseeable future, the only alternative they would have is to monetize that gas through the Trinidad infrastructure.
Khan was speaking on day 2 of the energy conference, where just a day earlier, the Prime Minister announced that the governments of TNT and Venezuela had decided to rescind their cross-border agreement for the fields because of U.S. sanctions.
In Guyana, one day after the Global Witness organization released a report on the country's oil industry, claiming that Guyana could possibly lose up to $55 billion because of a bad contract with Exxon, the international energy research group Rystad Energy is looking at the actual benefits that Guyana will get based on its own studies and findings. Here's more in this report.
In a report which was released this morning, Rystad Energy said that with Guyana's oil production estimated to reach 1.2 million barrels per day by 2030, the country's total annual oil revenues could approach $30 billion within 10 years. Rystad Energy said the economic fortunes of Guyana, with a population of only around 800,000, are poised for a major transformation after its first ever oil development commenced production just 6 weeks ago. Offshore oil production is expected to grow rapidly in the years to come and will generate unprecedented revenues for the Guyanese government, the report said. The report also quotes Rystad's president of upstream research, Sonia Boudou, as explaining that since the initial discovery back in 2015 of the giant Liza oil field in the Stabroek block, Guyana has discovered more than 8 billion barrels of oil resources, adding that Liza was brought on stream in December, and many more oil fields will follow suit in due course. She said Guyana's rising oil revenues will make a huge difference in the continued development of the country. And the official also pointed out that at the same time, in order for Guyana to realize the full potential of its oil resources, a stable regulatory and fiscal environment will be a key factor. The other report by Global Witness focused heavily on the renegotiated contract with Exxon, pointing out that while there is no evidence of corruption in that new contract, Guyana should have pushed for a better deal. Global Witness believes that Guyana should push for a new contract with Exxon. But even with that report, Rystad Energy is forecasting that Guyana's oil production could reach 1.2 million barrels per day by the end of the decade.
When we come back on the international scene, we hear that UK research institutions are teaming up to fast-track a coronavirus vaccine. That when we come back.
That was a regional news segment sponsored by Massey Stores SVG Limited.
Massey Stores.
is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors and children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores, Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
The Vallejo Experience. We cater for all of your psychological needs. We promote holistic wellness, balancing the mind, body, and spirit. I am Dr. Giselle Miller, CEO and founder of the Vallejo Experience. Contact us today. We are willing and ready to serve you.
Unique Upholstery. Quality at a low cost. We build to suit your needs. Contact us at Redemption Shops 457-0182 or Stony Grungs 453-2089.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you'll love Super 6 even more, because every time you spend $6 on Super 6, you get a chance to win 6 times your spend instantly. Wow! That's 6 times your spend of $6 on Super 6 for 6 weeks. Now there's more reason to love Super 6. More money, more money, more money!
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
SVG-TV International News segment sponsored in part by Carrez Distribution Limited.
For over 60 years, we have sought only the best beans grown in the lush hills of the Andean mountains of Colombia. Cold Cafe. We carefully select only the very best beans and roast them to delicious perfection by our experienced roast masters. Cold Cafe. Cold Cafe treats you to one of the finest coffees in the world, available in classic and decaffeinated. A rich flavor and aroma that can only come from 100% Colombian coffee. Cold Cafe. Indulge yourself in our delicious cappuccinos available in classic mocha and French vanilla. Enjoy them hot to warm your soul or cool to cool you down. Either way, they are incredibly satisfying. So go ahead, enjoy Cold Cafe and treat yourself.
But now we go further afield. UK research institutions are gearing up to provide a vaccine to protect people against coronavirus, and millions of pounds are being offered to develop the drug. We hear more in this report.
Indication that to me, the lines and squares in this image make little sense, but they could hold a key to developing the world's first coronavirus vaccine. Professor Robin Shattuck and his small team here in West London are in a global race to find an inoculation against the potentially fatal virus. They've had one major breakthrough already. They're nearly at the clinical trial stage. To get here would normally take 2 to 3 years. They've done it in 14 days.
We'll have it in animal models by the beginning of next week. So we've kind of short-tracked that part. The next phase will be to move that from early animal testing into first-in-human studies. And we think with adequate funding we can do that in a period of a few months.
Do you have a UK? The UK has pledged £20 million to CEPI, the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovations, an international agency set up in 2017 to deal with health crises exactly like this one. And a further £20 million for rapid research into coronavirus here in the UK. The money is crucial, but so too is knowledge. The 2003 SARS epidemic killed some 800 people. At the time, China was severely criticized for withholding information. This time, it's been praised for sharing crucial data with the international health community. The lessons learned following the 2003 SARS outbreak are proving crucial in helping scientists deal with this epidemic. But the SARS vaccine was never fully developed. Once the virus died out, the funding dried up.
Some of them don't.
Dr. David Heyman is one of the world's leading experts on infectious diseases. He led the international fight against SARS and told me this time a vaccine must be developed.
Today we have a new coalition, the Coalition on Epidemic Preparedness and Innovation, which is based here in London, which is stimulating development of vaccines. And hopefully that will continue to stimulate development of corona vaccines after this outbreak is over. It may not be effective in getting a vaccine for this outbreak. A vaccine may not even be necessary. But it would be nice to have a coronavirus vaccine somewhere on the shelf that could be rolled out during a future epidemic.
The coronavirus is still spreading fast. It's possible it could die off eventually, but it's also true that it has the potential to become a pandemic.
The bitter feud over Trump's impeachment overshadowed his State of the Union address, in which he hailed the great American comeback. The U.S. president pitched his re-election, highlighting the success of the economy and the killing of Iranian commander Qasem Soleimani. Here's more in this report.
Madam Speaker, the President of the United States.
7 weeks ago, this chamber voted to impeach him. Later today, senators have the power to remove him from office, but they won't. The Republican majority will ensure Donald Trump will be acquitted. Some in the chamber even called for a second term. Watch the reaction of Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who initiated impeachment as an attempted handshake is snubbed. Mr. Trump's poll ratings are improving, partly because the economy is booming.
In just 3 short years, we have shattered the mentality of American decline, and we have rejected the downsizing of Americans' destiny. We have totally rejected the downsizing. We're moving forward at a pace that was unimaginable just a short time ago, and we are never, ever going back. The state of our union is stronger than ever before.
Predictably, his foreign policy highlights included his orders to kill ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi and the Iranian general Qasem Soleimani.
Our message to the terrorists is clear. You will never escape American justice. If you attack our citizens, you forfeit your life.
The atmosphere inside the chamber was raucous. Open hostility from Democrats over some contentious issues. But their party is fragmented. The Iowa caucuses were a farce. The results were announced 24 hours late. They revealed Pete Buttigieg, a former mayor from Indiana, with a narrow lead over Senator Bernie Sanders. The party establishment dreads having him as their nominee. But former Vice President Joe Biden finished a poor fourth. It's turned out to be a good week for Mr. Trump. He didn't even mention the word impeachment.
Our spirit is still young. The sun is still rising. God's grace is still shining. And my fellow Americans, the best is yet to come. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless America. Thank you very much.
In an extraordinary act of defiance, Nancy Pelosi made clear what she thought of the speech. But her party needs more than gestures to prevent Mr. Trump winning a second term. Ian Woods, Sky News, Washington.
Well, that's our news for this evening. We have sports just ahead, right after we take a look at what the weather has in store for us this evening.
SVG-TV International News segment was sponsored in part by Carez Distribution Limited.
Let's go! Turn up the fun!
With Chocolisto and its great flavor, enriched with vitamins and minerals that help you grow.
Chocolisto makes you big and strong.
The weather report sponsored in part by General Hardware, Budgemart Limited.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Bebin, the diaper made with the very best for the very best. Keeps up with them on the go. With a wetness indicator, Bebin keeps your child dry and happy. For quality and affordability, choose Bebin every time.
Bebin Premium.
The present weather conditions this evening across the country are cloudy, slightly hazy with light showers. Winds are variable at 2 kilometers per hour. The temperature 23.7 degrees Celsius and relative humidity 91%. The barometric pressure 1016.0 millibars. Today's rainfall measured 9.4 millimeters. The maximum temperature today was 29.1 degrees Celsius, the minimum temperature 23.5. Sunset today was at 6:07 p.m. and sunrise tomorrow morning will be at 6:30. The forecast for tonight, you can expect conditions to be partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy, slightly hazy and breezy with scattered showers. And the synopsis says the Atlantic high pressure system is the dominant feature.
The weather report was sponsored in part by General Hardware, Budgemart Limited.
Bebin, the diaper made with the very best for the very best. Keeps up with them on the go. With a wetness indicator, Bebin keeps your child dry and happy. For quality and affordability, choose Bebin every time.
Bebin Premium.
Welcome to Finishing and Furnishing, where a warm and friendly staff awaits you. At Finishing and Furnishing, you feel like you're in a home away from home. You will find a wide range of bedroom, living room, and appliances displayed in a stunning setting. When dealing with furniture, you need to take into consideration the colors of your room. That's why at our Penta Studio, we supply the best in interior and exterior paints. Have wooden furniture? Well, we also have stains, sealers, lacquers to get that matte or gloss finish of your desire. So give us a call at 457-2206 and come on down to Finishing and Furnishing today and start building the home of your dreams.
Welcome to the evening sports. The senior female cricket team successfully defended their Windward Islands 50 overs tournament, which was played in St. Lucia. The Vincy women won their first game against Grenada, after which they went on to defeat Dominica. However, they lost to the host team, but ended up at the top of the point standings with 10 points. St. Lucia came in for a close second with 9 points, followed by Dominica with 8, and then Grenada, who was unable to secure a single point in the tournament. In football news, Parkside Rollers FC and Richmond Hill FC placed first and second respectively in the National Club Championship Second Division, and both clubs have now been promoted to the 2020-2021 First Division. Meanwhile, yesterday in the Premier Division of the National Club Championships, Besco Pastures defeated Greg's FC 4-3 in the second matchup last evening. Sign Hill FC and North Leeward Predators played to a 2-2 draw. Action in the National Club Championships will continue this afternoon when Camdonia Chelsea faced SV United. And currently underway at the Victoria Park, the National Under-20 Vincy Heat team are taking on the senior men's team in a local friendly, as the Vincy Heat outfit prepares to compete in the CONCACAF Under-20 qualifiers. The Under-20 team is expected to travel to face Guyana, Montserrat, U.S. Virgin Islands, and host nation Nicaragua. Action in the first division of the club championships will resume on Saturday with a number of games across the country. In the NBA, Giannis Antetokounmpo led the NBA leading Milwaukee Bucks past Zion Williamson's New Orleans Pelicans 120-108, while LeBron James inspired the Los Angeles Lakers. Reigning MVP Antetokounmpo put up 34 points and 17 rebounds as the Bucks improved to 43-7 for the season and 20-4 away from home. The Bucks led by 19 points in the third quarter before withstanding a Pelicans rally in New Orleans on Tuesday night. Pelicans rookie sensation Williamson scored 20 points. Brandon Ingram, top scoring for New Orleans, had 32 of his own. LeBron James posted 19 of his 36 points in the final quarter as the Los Angeles Lakers topped the San Antonio Spurs 129-102 in Los Angeles. The Lakers superstar hit a stunning 5 three-pointers in 3 fourth-quarter minutes to propel the hosts at the Staples Center, where he added 9 assists and 7 rebounds. DeMar DeRozan led the Spurs with 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. We'll continue with more evening sports after these messages. Stay with us.
My sister's pharmacy is the one for you. Is the one for you. We have competitive prices for your prescriptions too. We have 10% off for seniors, children under 3. We're here for your convenience. Prescription services. Leave your prescriptions while you shop. And our professional pharmacists will help you out. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Massey Stores Pharmacy. Where your health is your wealth.
Located at Massey Stores, Kingstown. Contact us at 453-9112.
Quality products, quality care, low prices, great customer service, all at Q-Care Pharmacy. Q-Care leads the way, providing all your pharmaceutical needs, a variety of personal care products, and so much more. Located on Halifax Street. Telephone number 451-2690. Q-Care Pharmacy, where the Q stands for quality.
Tourism has many benefits to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It creates growth and a boost in economic activities, infrastructure development, job creation, entrepreneurship, and is a source of foreign exchange earnings. Supermarkets and vendors, bars, restaurants, taxis, tour guides, hotels, service providers, and many more all benefit directly from income gained through the tourism industry. Taxes collected from visitors to our country help St. Vincent's economy and its growth. Tourism is everyone's business. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Tourism is everyone's business. Yeah. Live it, love it, embrace it.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
Welcome back as we continue with more sports. West Indies cricket chief executive Johnny Grave maintains the regional sports governing body takes very little pleasure in excluding players from the squad for fitness reasons, but insists the standards are well known and accepted. Controversy struck earlier this week after promising batsmen Evan Lewis and Shemron Hetmeyer were left out of the regional team ahead of its series against Sri Lanka after both failed a fitness test. The opener Lewis's omission came as even more of a surprise, considering the fact that he was the team's best player in the recently concluded series against Ireland. Grave told the Sportsmag Zone that they have made it clear to the players for 3 years about the required standards. According to reports, over the last 2 years, CWI has been forced to fine players significant sums of money and significantly reducing salaries. Lewis and Hetmeyer failed to meet the minimum standard, but are expected to be retested in a few weeks. Windies coach Phil Simmons wants to see the team display the same level of intensity in the upcoming tour of Sri Lanka, which they used to good effect on the tour of the subcontinent last year. Last November, the Caribbean side swept aside Afghanistan 3-0 in a one-day series played in India before losing the subsequent T20 series 2-1. Pitted against India weeks later, West Indies comprehensively beat the powerhouses in the opening ODI before losing the remaining games to surrender the series 2-1. The Windies also pushed India in the T20 series, winning the second game but losing the series also by a 2-1 margin. According to the Jamaica Observer, Simmons said the important thing in the upcoming series is for the players to adjust quickly to the conditions, hence the reason why they will be heading to Sri Lanka days in advance. West Indies selectors on Monday announced a 15-man squad for the ODI phase of the series. The side will be led by all-rounder Kieran Pollard and sees the recall of experienced left-hander Darren Bravo, all-rounder Rothman Powell, and fit-again left-arm spinner Fabian Allen. Our chief selector Roger Harper said he expects the side would use the recent gains made to carve out positive results against Sri Lanka. West Indies have never won an ODI series in Sri Lanka and suffered a 3-0 whitewash on their last tour there 4 years ago. And that's how we end sports for this evening. We'll be right back to wrap things up.
Singer is a family store. We sell everything you need for your kitchen and more. Top brands and appliances, TVs, fridges, cookers. We make your life so easy. Just come in and see us. A wide range of furniture right here at Singer. Affordable beds and mattresses right here at Singer. Washing machines to make your laundry clean and fresh. Singer is a family store that gives you the best hire purchase deals right here at Singer. We'll outfit your home right here at Singer. The #1 family store. It's us with Singer.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game.
Now you love Super 6 even more. With more money to the jackpot galore.
Win more, have more fun.
With more jackpot money, Super 6 is my #1.
With the new and improved Super 6 team, the jackpot keeps growing and growing and growing.
More jackpot money, more reasons to play this game. More money for way. Super 6 a bigger jackpot game. Super 6, bigger jackpots, more chances to win.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
And now we take a second look at the headlines for this evening. The Deputy Prime Minister says SVG finances are in good hands as opposition leader predicts more expensive borrowing for the country. Jamaica law enforcement agencies express concern about an increase in the trade of drugs for guns. UK research institutions teaming up to fast-track coronavirus vaccine. And in sports, SVG female cricket team retains Windward Island's 50 overs title. On behalf of all of us here at SVG-TV, thanks for viewing. My name is Carol Cato, and I'm reminding you that you can visit our Facebook page for a recap of the news and also for daily headlines. And also be sure to tune in for SVG-TV's News in 15 at 12:45 p.m. weekdays. Enjoy your evening.
Listen, the big hardware stores have been ripping off Vincentians for years with their high prices. They came General Hardware with the lowest prices ever in SVG. Now, the big guys are scrambling to drop their prices, but they still can't beat the General. So don't let them fool you. General Hardware still has the best prices on lumber, plywood, and steel. And even with a sale, the General beats that too. So go on, compare prices. Then come to General Hardware and save dollars every day. Because nobody beats the General. Nobody. General Hardware Supplies, located next to Yvette's Pork City in Arnesville. Call 453-9000.
Brick by brick, piece by piece, building with technology, helping wealth increase. Starting small, building the future, doing more every day, doing more together. BOSVG, the bank we count on. BOSVG, our one bank together we're strong. Our nation's bank, standing long and proud. One bank, one voice, sing it loud. BOSVG. Hey, building our future. Doing more together.
OSBG, doing more together.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
With Flow, win a bag of money, cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah, from Flow.
Okay, so check this. Flow is giving away $30,000 in cash. 2 bags of money plus a grand every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. There's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up, top up, $5 or more. Right now, just switch to Flow. Get a bag.